There is a lot of amazement when you are in alignment with an integrated brain where can happen because your body doesn't have trauma charges coming up that you don't know how to handle with your right mode. And that left mode is the chit chatter. Thank you, Daniel Siegel, Mindsight Institute. Anybody who's interested in learning about the brain, the mind, and relationships, interpersonal neurobiology is really great at that. So you can understand when I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements together to share your mind, heart, body harmony. But this is what's important: bilateral integration. So first, our lovely Sadhguru, if you overflow with humanity, divinity has to descend. As a 5D mystic, I have always known that divinity is not an entity with superpowers, but that's also because I grew up with Jesus and I learned about God. And, I don't use the word because we have a very big divide right now about how to use words. So I can use Akash and consciousness without disrupting any person's mood, because we all have implicit bias. So, long story short, though, I knew of God from my catechism as the essence of love and life, not the fear that I hear other people. And yes, from my background of Catholicism with Christianity. Okay, so some people, apparently they've been completely scared when it comes to God, and I feel sad about that one because yeah, no, nothing scary. Anyone who is of faith will know about heart. So our humanity is only accessible fully when you have bilateral integration, because you're taking the charges that come up to be yourself, and you don't act as if, okay, this is where confident, self-empowered people, they don't actually go and create Cusco type behavior. So as a teenager, I learned very much how immaturity works, emotional immaturity, and how unkindness works, even though I was like, they're not unkind, they're just teenagers. I'm going to choose love. Thank you, Jesus and God, because I learned how not to cast a stone. In fact, I learned that adults had me casting stones. My one moment of shame was, I've been calling people good and bad. Thank goodness we have academics who are making it their mission, and I can't wait as they continue their discourses to share humanity, no inherently good or evil. So sorry for the ones who want to remain ancient silverbacks. Just like there's no demon that possesses anyone, the fear receptor in your brain, there's a neuroscientist who's great at looking into it, Patrick McNamara. He has an interview, he's written a book. So any person who has some form of intellect and emotional maturity will be able to put their implicit bias aside, know that your belief system is not being touched, but that there are explanations for an embodied brain, unless you want to be a flat earther, which some people are like, no, I'm not. And then again, it's like, well, if you're not listening to the fact that I just told you that a neuroscientist knows, as he's been studying brains, that there is no demon that possesses you, but that there's a fear receptor, and you want to refute that, I'm going to say, you are a flat earther. But I won't tell it to you because you're in cognitive dissonance at that point, and probably structural dissociation, because you're not doing the bilateral integration thing where you say, oh, I got implicit bias going on right now. I didn't like what I heard. I didn't like that data point. I want it to be wrong. And that's our Cuscos, who then go about and follow people who basically give them definitions from dictionaries. And so that's a left mode up. See that person over there, they defined what a demonic spirit is according to a book, and I'm going to listen to that one and continue using those words versus expand the conversation. So when you speak to enlightened human beings who have belief systems and know that we're talking, that's because they are actually adults, functional adults it's called, and they have confidence, for real, not pretend. So they don't yell in my face, 5D mystic here. No, we actually come to know we're saying the same thing, but we're using different words. It's okay. It's called, yes, we like to exchange ideas, and it's called our humanity, which you can have with a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. Thank you again, Daniel Siegel. Great acronyms to remember what integration of the brain means, which is why being alive, aliveness, is from integration of the brain, which means you're a Pacha from Cusco, land of the Emperor's New Groove. Okay, so being yourself, you don't act as if. I didn't act as a teenager as if I were confident. I knew I was sensitive, and I knew the unkindness was those immature kids, because, they were all immature. And I knew that my freedom was, thank you, Mother, again, for teaching me how there are no wrong paths, but we are part of a puzzle. So be respectful. So I did learn how to be respectful with the right silence as a teenager. I have never had drama. Although people might think that I was part of drama, I never really participated to it because I have chosen the path of Jesus. I just do direct communication. And yes, people don't like when you tell them what you think. And I also learned that they apparently don't think they have ego selves, which everyone does. The selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness is beautiful when you're in a flow state. Going with the flow is really nice. In fact, again, a channeler right here. Right now we have our lovely lunar eclipse coming up. Oh, is it amazing? It's also full moon. Okay, so here's Sadhguru again. If your perception transcends the limitations of your five senses, you are spiritual with a capital S. So bringing spirituality, and the human elements together. That's because right now, from one of my courses on dissociative disorders, and I got to learn about the 8 senses. That's not the first time. I have a bunch of trauma and attachment informed in addition to Daniel Siegel's Mindsight Institute courses. Also disorganized attachment and dissociative identity disorder, which is discounted by colleagues because they don't believe in their colleagues. So very interesting how the academic world works. Oh, and that whole scale of evil, let's not forget, because that's what I shared. The 1 to 22, Michael Stone, forensic criminologist, they all need a good therapist. That's what any person who does not know how to do emotional regulation building skills, and they don't know how to say, oh, I have implicit bias, I have my own opinion, my likes and dislikes. Now, the people who are 3D are a lot more open to maybe being able to have a conversation. 4D, they're all over being Elsa without having ever gotten to the end of noticing that it's just about yourself, the Frozen 2. Yeah. So you show yourself, I'm dying to meet you, not to mention that at the beginning of this, she's all like, I don't want to go into the unknown. I'm afraid of the unknown. And the 4D thinks they're special and anointed, which is why when I met them initially, I'm thinking, why are you afraid of the unknown? I thought you were a mystic. Didn't you know how to channel? I mean, so I learned how to do silence because apparently people think they need to reclaim their power by being Cusco's. Yeah, nope, the squirrels of Cusco land. So I've seen people with clairs get on screen and legit begin to voice certain things that I'm just thinking I need to get a good therapist to them, but they don't want the therapist. They're too busy with structural dissociation and doing a twin flame saga, which that has nothing. Twin flames, what you see out there. Anyone who's an actual person who is 5D and you're connecting to Akash, please come on over because they completely do not have you having a good relationship with your oversoul entirely. You got soulmates, twin flames, your entire oversoul is a safari, a fun safari. Again, the freedom is yours, but only if you can be a person who says, oh, look, I can be myself. Yay, from your body. So secure attachment, people. I raise my hand. Whole 3-year-old heart here. No shame, not even a little bit. 0. And that's because I got to be a child. I got lovingly accepted. I got told to mind my own business. I got told to not be a mother and to nurture my own self. And I got, luckily, the way to regulate my nervous system even with panic attacks without making it in a big deal or not a big deal, meaning that I'm okay if somebody doesn't understand why I have them because I know they don't experience or perceive it, and it's okay. I'm not offended. Confidence means you can tell me any word you want. Okay, cool. Peace out. That's what it means to be confident, not the squirrel from Cusco land. So we see a lot of squirrels. That's what I was going to say as well. 8 senses: visual, auditory, gustatory, olfactory, tactile, vestibular, proprioception, interception. So when you're able to be yourself easily, this is also why you do things like this. Where are you, Sadhguru? I love this man. Besides overflow with humanity and divinity ascends on you or descends to you, which again is not an entity, it's consciousness. We're part of the energy. And I want, as a human being, you have the power to shape your circumstances. When you do it consciously, you can create the life you want. Yes. And the one that was really calling to me, love is freedom and joy. Attachment is bondage and misery. So when people don't have secure attachment. And the greatest gift you can give to another human being is to accept, respect, and love them. So when you unconditionally love, it's because you are yourself. And that's why you don't have drama or sagas with anyone. You know how to use the functional adult love language, because why would I get angry? I'm not your consciousness. I'm my own consciousness. I don't have to get mad. I can get sad, but like my mother would say, it's all going to be okay. So you know how to get up and say, I love even more. It's whole 3-year-old hearts for confident, secure, healthy, self-worth people. Tune in for more.